Welcome to the Business Growth Spotlight, where we shine the light and talk with business leaders from all over the world who share their insights and expertise so we can all grow together. And today I'm excited to bring you my guest. We're going to be talking all about business growth. But before I do that, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time here, welcome to the podcast. Please stay to the end because we're going to have a gift for you. But without further ado, welcome Omer Jamal to the podcast. Welcome, Omer.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Heidi. Super excited for this conversation today.
I'm excited to chat with you. So can you kick us off by sharing a little bit about yourself, Omer, Atlas, and your role within it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm one of those guys who's just been starting businesses since middle school or high school.
I love that.
So most recently, I'm on my third tech startup. Both previous two ones were successfully exited. We worked, they always sort of been in the sales and sales automation space, and we were helping wealth management firms. So last time around, after the exit, I got married, I traveled a little bit, explored the world, and kind of just got bored and tired, to be honest with you. And then this whole AI thing came about, and we started Atlas. So Atlas is really an AI revenue engine, really a voice AI sales response tools to get back to your leads within 60 seconds or less to convert more ad clicks into profit. So I'm the CEO and founder. We're building, and it's been a super fun journey so far.
Can you share a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey? You've done a lot. So what are some of those, what did you experience along your journey? Like you pivoted, obviously, you had
Yeah.
some changes along the way. And I think that's really important for founders, CEOs, executives who are listening. Sometimes we start something and we think that's the end all be all, and it's not. Can you dive a little bit into that journey personally about what you've gone through?
Yeah, absolutely. I think entrepreneurship is all about the number of iterations that you can sort of go through.
Mm.
I think even for the first one or even Atlas right now, we're probably it always ends up you end up going through 8 to 10 iterations to find that perfect formula that works for you. So, I always recommend to anybody who's sort of getting involved in any business that pivots are part of the entrepreneurship journey. And it's probably how fast do you want to do that experiment and actually make that pivot. So, I think there's a few components that go into that as well, that you need to be solving a specific problem for a user. And that problem itself needs to be large enough that, a customer will eventually pay you for it. So first is always identify that problem and then get crystal clear in your messaging on it so that when you actually speak to a customer, they understand it. Because nowadays attention spans are so less. You only have 10 to 15 seconds, right? So a lot of entrepreneurs I see that they struggle with actually having the messaging crisp to sell it to their customers or talk to their customers about it, or not even having a focus on the distribution side of things, because that in its own is a whole journey on its own. So um, I think you just have to keep going through those iterations with all of those three things in mind: problem, messaging, and then your offer. Find like the perfect lockbox combination. See what works, and the role of an entrepreneur is to do them as fast as possible before you run out of money.
Yeah, very, very true. So can you unlock the lockbox for us and tell us exactly like what does Atlas do? What's the problem you solve? Who do you solve it for? And what's the solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So Atlas is really built for service companies. The problem that we're really solving is slow sales team follow-ups, right? If you there was a Harvard study that was done that if you don't follow up with your leads within 5 minutes, you lose 80% chance of closing that lead. So everybody spends a bunch of money on ads to bring people to their business, but most of the follow-up doesn't happen for 24 hours, 48 hours, in some cases even more than like 5 or 7 days, which is ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem because you're basically losing out on dollars that you have already spent. So for us, we're all about speed to lead, right? We like to contact the leads within 60 seconds because 80% of buyers still purchase from the first buyer, from the first company that they reach out to. So we're all about speed to lead. We have a voice AI sales tool that responds back to leads as soon as the form comes in. It's a very human-like, personalized type experience. It's a cloning of your revenue team, essentially, your sales team. So it's been a super, super fun journey. We work with digital marketing agencies who then go distribute it to their clients. We also work with a lot of service companies directly. So anybody submits a form online to get a quote, Atlas can give them a call and call them. And so we've seen conversions increase through the roof with just focusing on speed to lead.
Yeah, I love that speed to lead mantra, quote unquote, just because I feel like it's so true. The sooner that you respond to someone, because they've already moved on, literally, they'll put the inquiry in and then they're already on to the next thing. I used to tell when I was coaching female entrepreneurs, I used to tell them, I'm like, listen, people have the attention span less than a goldfish, which is like
Yeah,
about 4 seconds. So you need to get them in the moment. And the sooner that you can respond to them, interact, you've just set yourself apart. If you want to create your blue ocean, this is the way to do it. So what are some of the most common bottlenecks that slow down the sales response process, and how can businesses overcome them, Omar?
yeah. I mean, you kind of just touched on it, Heidi, as well, right? Like if you think about attention spans, they are like a goldfish nowadays. So one of the biggest problems that I sort of see with business owners in general is they think that we're still in the old days where attention spans are extremely, extremely long. Today, people want instant answers and they sort of demand that instant request because they're on Google contacting five other of your competitors doing the exact same things. One of the biggest problems that I've seen is that business owners don't even identify that this is a leakage in their revenue bucket. And, they're always going to their sales teams, and when they go towards their sort of sales teams are just not even trained on this, right?
Right.
They spend so much time on scripts and how to follow up and what to say to get that appointment, but nobody talks about speed. So to me, it's just a leaky bucket that no one's talking about, and the data is there to prove it that you got to do this stuff.
Yeah, I love that you brought up the sales, scripts and things like that. Those are important, and you need to know how to communicate with the client, right? But at the end of the day, if you're getting there first and you can respond in a way, you can figure all that out and navigate it. It's all about testing, right? And a script is fantastic, but it doesn't mean it's going to win the sale at the end of the day. You can have the perfect script, but if you're coming in 24 hours later or even 6 hours later and somebody else is doing it messy, but they've done it within a matter of 30 seconds to, what did you say, 10 minutes?
60 seconds, but most people do it in like, I don't know, they
Right.
take like a day sometimes.
Right. They've already missed the boat. And somebody'd rather have a communication with somebody that's doing it a little messy and
Yeah,
figuring out that sales process. And they're building that trust, right? We can never get that trust back. So the sooner that they're responding, the quicker that
exactly.
trust is formed. Yeah.
Exactly. And AI is just better now too, right? Like
Yeah.
AI allows you to do that because humans are lazy. You might be on your lunch break in the evening, you might have day off. So people think that you need a 24-hour staff to do it, but AI can do that job for you. This is like the lowest hanging AI that you can implement in your business to do it for you.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How is AI transforming the traditional sales funnel from lead gen to closing deals?
Yeah, so I've been building an AI now since 2017, and to be quite candid with you, it's been 8 years, and we still hear that AI for business owners is still somewhat of a nascent concept where some people either love it or some people are just like, ah, no, it won't fit into my business because my business is super special. The fact of the matter is that AI as a whole is an efficiency tool, right? And you have to take a look at it as an efficiency tool. Would you not, for the audience members that are listening to this, would you not want the smartest employee that you hire, right? Anybody, when you make a hire, you want the smartest and the brightest because that's who's going to perform the best for you. So that's what AI is in a nutshell. It's there for you in an instant to be trained in your business, and it will be the smartest employee if you use it rightly. So I always say to folks that whenever you're thinking about AI, if you were to bucket human knowledge, it's tier one, tier two, tier three. Tier two and three are super complicated, right? They're high stakes, they require payment, they require human oversight, so to speak. But tier one is the mundane, basic inquiry stuff, like lead qualification use case. So to me, AI is at a stage today where it doesn't hallucinate. It can be trained very well for your business for those tier one sort of use cases. And it's an efficiency tool. Every business owner should be utilizing it to buy back their time because that's really what it does. So I'm super bullish on AI. I train my team every day to use AI. Anybody that I speak to, I'm the AI guy.
So I have a question for you, just listening to you share that, Omer. When people are setting up their sales teams, you've got the setter many
Mhm.
times and you've got the closer. So is your tool, or are you seeing AI potentially fulfilling the setter role and
That's
where we
correct.
still need the closer role?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Because the closer role has nuances for each business and whatnot. I think the setter role is what it's really good for. So that's what I'm referring to as like tier one SDR type role.
Okay, perfect. So where do you see the most immediate and measurable ROI from AI in sales workflows today?
Yeah, I think the most measurable ROI is just kind of a bottom line on your sales pipeline, which directly leads to your revenue. So we've seen connect rates go almost 300% higher, which it leads to a
Wow.
direct bottom line with conversions. So it's all about just getting more bang for your buck with what you're already doing, right? So we're not going out saying that go spend out more money on ads, get more leads. All we're saying is leverage the leads that you have right now and just convert them better.
Yeah.
Um, and because nobody's doing this, like because people are slow with sales follow-ups, or you have a bunch of leads that nobody's touching on with promotions and stuff like that, AI can just do that work for you. So it's cloning your revenue team. So we've seen some really good conversions just based off of that.
Amazing. So what's the difference between automating a sales funnel and optimizing it by using AI?
Yeah, so automating a sales funnel, is essentially taking all your pipeline, which might be, I don't know, let's call it 12 stages, 8 stages, 8 to 12 stages, depending on the business that you're sort of part of and customize to your business, and then deploying resources for it. So generally, sales leaders will put in humans to do that. Hey, I need a setter. Hey, I need a closer. Hey, I need a CRM manager. Hey, I need an ads guy to bring those leads in, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm taking a look at the entire sales pipeline, generally speaking, it's always been resource constraint. If the CEO asks their sales leader, how do I get more sales? And they'll be like, oh, well, I need more sales people to hire. So automating that sales funnel to me is about finding the technological shifts that are sort of happening and finding those buckets within your sales funnel that could be automated. And there's tons of tools out there in the sales technology landscape to help you do that, which could, help you write copy to do outreach for customers. It could have meeting notes and put that into CRM for you. And just sort of find those workflows and automating them for you. Optimizing to me is actually taking a look at that funnel from a 30,000-foot view and seeing what
Hmm.
are the bottlenecks and how are you actually going to solve those bottlenecks. And revenue leakage is one of those bottlenecks to identify out. So hopefully that was clear. A little bit long
Yeah.
answer, but hopefully that was clear for you.
No, it's great. It's perfect. Thank you. Can we talk a little bit about the future of sales? So how are you seeing the role of sales reps evolving as AI takes over more of the initial lead handling and qualification tasks?
Yeah, I think I saw a LinkedIn post about this just recently as well. AI is at such a funny place where everybody understands the value behind it. I do think the forward thinkers are actually utilizing it and implementing it in their business, but not enough people at the ground level are using it. To me, I like to call superstar thinking. I think every employee will have to become a superstar. So, next 3 to 5 years, for every employee, specifically sales or any employee, you have to get good at utilizing AI because AI is only getting better over time. It's only getting better. There's no other way to put it. Like the increased rapid acceleration that we've seen over the last 2 years, and to be honest with you, voice hasn't even that era of using voice AI at scale hasn't even happened. I think everybody's still using ChatGPT, but not many folks are using voice just yet. So I think we're just getting started. We're still
Yeah.
in second or third inning of a 9 inning game. So people just have to start using it, and every employee to me has to be a superstar by leveraging AI because if you're not using AI, that's when you risk not having a job. But
Right.
utilizing AI will help a lot.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of fear, especially in the 2 years of like, oh, I'm going to be replaced. And the only reason that you'll be replaced is if you're not embracing it. And I've talked to a lot of people like you on this podcast, and I'm grateful for your time because, we're learning so much by talking, by having you on here and sharing that, it's not going away. It's only
Hmm.
evolving as you're sharing. So you have to embrace it. And companies are telling their people, you need to learn this. You need to spend so many hours a day learning AI. And it's not that you have to get really good at it because it's going to evolve in another year. You don't need to be perfect. And I think a lot of people are like, I need to get perfect at it before I implement. No, because by the time you get perfect at it, it's already changed. It's already
Exactly.
evolved, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? Every technological shift that happened, even if you just like take a look at the last 10 years, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, after the internet, we had the mobile era, then we had the cloud era, and now sort of the AI era. All these eras created more jobs.
Yeah.
It didn't. So I think that's the same thing with AI. It's going to create more jobs for you. You just have to get really good at using it.
Yeah. And people still need that human connection. They still need to trust, and they are not going to fully trust AI. So we still need you. We still need you as
Yeah,
the
yeah.
human involved.
Or it's probably even more important
Right.
than error ever, right? Like,
Right. So you've shared, but like just in case there's more that you can touch into, what trends are you seeing? Because I know you shared voice, but what trends are you seeing in buyer behavior that are forcing sales teams to rethink their funnel strategies?
yeah, I think, buyer behavior goes back to this concept of having goldfish-like attention. I think buyers today give you, it used to be 15 seconds, and then it started bringing down to 7 seconds. Now it's probably like 4 seconds
I
of
think it's
attention.
four to
Yeah, exactly.
crazy.
I think that buyer behavior is a key insight into how your buyer is thinking. And this could be for anything, right? Whether you're
Mhm.
selling home services, legal services, real estate, technology. So you have a very short amount of time to actually capture someone's attention. And you have to be crystal clear in your offer to do that. So to me, I think, that's something that not a lot of people sort of spend their time on. They spend a lot of time on what I see a lot is people just end up spending a lot of time on ads and try to get more leads into the funnel. But nobody's actually thinking about like how do I tweak my messaging further and leverage the leads that I already have or convert the leads that are already sort of coming into the funnel. So I see that as like a little bit of a gap in today's era, so to speak. And I think the forward thinking leaders in this space and the sales leaders in this space, that's the change that they're sort of making. They're actually sitting there spending time every week, every 2 weeks to map out like what are those leakages that are happening or where can we improve.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that everybody has to do a little bit better of.
Awesome. So I want to talk about growth a little bit because you've done a lot of things. You've been an entrepreneur, you've been successful, you've had successful exits. So in the growth of your company and other businesses that you've had, what are some challenges that you faced, Omer, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, building a startup, specifically a technology startup, Elon Musk says is just like flying out of a plane and then just chewing glass on its way down. So, I faced all the challenges. I faced all the challenges where, we might be running out of money and we might not be making payroll at the end of the month. We had a bunch of customers and all of a sudden the product fails for some odd reason. And you can't get a hold of the engineering team because for some odd reason they're not getting back to you. So I've dealt with all sorts of like human capital issues, all sorts of resource sort of constraints, and then obviously all sorts of product market fit that whatever it is that you're sort of building, your customers actually want it, and you kind of have to pivot and navigate to kind of get to that stage. So, the one quality that always sort of I think pushes me forward is just persistence and drive to actually just keep going and not be open to hearing no for as your destiny, as you might call it. So I think the entrepreneurial journey is full of challenges. There's no way to predict. There's no blueprint. When you start a business, you have this excitement and joy, but there's no blueprint that tells you that, hey, this is the mistake you're going to make, and you're just going to make a bunch of mistakes, and
Yeah.
that's the reality. No matter if you're a beginning entrepreneur for the first time or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, mistakes still happen. I've made a bunch of mistakes. And you kind of just get comfortable that, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and after that failure, you will get success. You just have to keep going. So that's my advice for anybody, really.
I love that. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and expect the challenges, right? Problems are going to arise, and every problem has a solution. It's just a matter of what is that solution. And we get to figure that out and not give up before we do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You
Yeah.
you summarized it well. That's exactly it, Heidi.
I love it so much. Can you share with us what are the big goals for you in Atlas? What's next for you all?
Yeah, so with Atlas specifically, we're trying to build a community around speed to lead to sort of end this slow follow-up stuff that happens across every business. So I think we're still in the early inning. I think we're going to impact sales teams globally. We're dreaming big. We've partnered with a very large influencer as well, Dan Martell. So we're going to be doing a lot of work on that side as well. So we're just getting our engine warmed up over here, and there's a lot more product features, updates to follow. It's a super exciting time to build an AI.
I love it. I can hear the revving over there. I can hear the warming up. It's just going to get bigger and better as you go. You talked about partnering up with an influencer. So what are some things that have worked with you for you as far as visibility, getting in front of your customers, getting in front? And I love that you are, you're in the beginning stages, and that speed to lead and your mission. I feel like when you were just sharing it, hit me in my heart, because you hear the stats. We know the stats. So many companies fail. The failure of companies, the stat is way too high compared to this companies that make it and thrive. And that's part of this, the mission behind this podcast is I bring you all on, and I'm grateful for your time and sharing, because I want to see more businesses thrive. My goal is to decrease that stat in failure and increase that stat on success. And you just shared that that's your goal with your company Atlas as well. So anything I can do to support you in making that happen, I'm all in for it. But you mentioned partnering with Dan Martell, and that's one of your strategies for getting out there more. What are some other things visibility wise that have worked for you? You've mentioned people running ads, you've mentioned different things. So marketing wise for you, what's worked? And conversely, what are some things that maybe you've tried that you're like, didn't work it might work for other people, it just didn't work for our offer?
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you asked me that question, Heidi, because the game has changed. Right? My previous two businesses we started, all we were doing was just outbound. And outbound was just phenomenal. We were landing 25 to 30 demos a week, just like LinkedIn DMs and emails. And it was no problem. Today, when you look at it, outbound doesn't work at all. We send way higher volume with almost little to no response. So the game has changed drastically in the last, call it 12 to 24 months, even I'd say. I think founder-led content is something that we're doubling down on. And, we appreciate the visibility that you bring to us, to your audience as well. Thank you for that. So founder-led content we're doubling down on. Obviously, I have a team that's helping me, that's trying to put me on as many podcasts as possible. I create a lot of LinkedIn content, create a lot of YouTube content, and just sort of double down on founder-led content. Outbound, we've sort of changed our strategy completely. We're not getting much result for it. We've definitely partnered with a very large influencer to help with our visibility as well. I think that they're going to write Harvard case studies about this, right? Like this is a real shift in the economy. And I think this is the way to sort of grow. We haven't really experimented with paid ads or things of that nature. I have heard that that's gotten quite expensive as well now. So, I think we're sort of doubling down on content and influencer type partnerships, which is, I think, sort of the way to go. And then we'll probably start doing some sort of live event of some sort. It's sort of that one-to-many approach, but we're still in the early days of figuring out what that might look like. So maybe stay tuned. It might be like a speed to lead masterclass that comes about from this.
Yeah, I love it. Masterclasses still are working, as long as you're getting in front of the right people, and you're, I hear from many people that that's very successful for them as well. So speed to lead masterclass would be fantastic. We're definitely staying tuned for that. So if I could give you a magic wand, and I know you shared some of your challenges and you've shared what's worked for you, but if I could give you a magic wand and hand it to you right now, and you could go poof over one issue that
Mhm.
you have that could keep you from achieving your goals in the next 12 months, what would that be to wipe away and why?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, in my case specifically, I just have a bunch of these product ideas that I wish we could just accelerate our roadmap and be like 12 months ahead, right? Because I think the stuff that we're building is super, super exciting to bring to our users and our who's sort of interested in this sort of speed to lead stuff that I don't think anybody's doing. So I'd love for us just to like get there faster, but product development also takes its own time and has its journey in business building.
Question for you. You mentioned you work with a lot of digital marketers. So do you have a white label service?
Yeah, yeah, we do have a white label service and we also have a partner model so we can explore either of that with any sort of digital marketing agencies.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. And the last question I have for you is, if we could revisit this conversation in a year from now, especially with everything you shared that you have going on, so much exciting stuff, what does success look like for you and Atlas?
Yeah, success looks like more digital marketing agencies leveraging us and adding an AI service to their offering to go distribute to sort of their end clients. So obviously just more business growth, which is I think the name of this podcast as well. So and then just I think I'm super big on community. So I would love for our community to expand a lot more. I think we're just north of 100 people or so, but I'd love for that community to be 2,000 people at the end of the
Ah.
year. So I like to aim big, and that's what I'm excited for.
So let's grow the community, people. For those of you listening, let's grow the community. So, Omar, how can people connect with you and reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So feel free to connect with me directly on LinkedIn. I'm quite active. You can test out Atlas Live by just going to youratlas.com. I bet you'll be impressed with the speed to lead that you get when the AI sort of calls you. So I'd love for you to just give it a try on youratlas.com.
Perfect. Amazing. So, for those of you listening, for those of you, first of all, watching us on YouTube, thank you. We're grateful for you and appreciate you. Omar and I are happy to have you here with us. And there's a button. It says the word subscribe. We'd love for you to click it, because what that does is it enables us to be able to share with you when more amazing guests like Omar are sharing their wisdom, taking time out of their busy days and out of their busy company to share their wisdom with you to help you grow. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform like Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, or any of the other ones, and you can leave a review, please do, preferably 5 stars, because that allows those platforms to push out our messaging and our amazing guests like Omar here today to more people. If you know of somebody that is looking for speed to lead and could use the product of Atlas or learn more about Omer and Atlas, then please share it. Sharing is caring. And this is what this podcast is all about, is sharing our amazing guests and their products and their services out with more people. We want to see more businesses thrive over the next 12, 48, whatever months from there. My math is not good. But thank you, Omar, for being here today. And make sure you reach out to him. Go to social media. All of his links are inside of the show notes. And I did promise y'all a gift. So here it is. If you're looking to grow your visibility, you've been trying to do the different things and you feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and nothing's working, then go ahead and download our Spotlight to Scale blueprint. You can go to spotlighttoscale.com/blueprint and grab that. It is free. It is yours. But also go to youratlas.com. Go connect with Omar. He's amazing, as you can see. Omar, is there anything else? First, thank you for your time today. Second of all, is there anything else you'd like to share that I didn't get to ask you or we didn't touch on today?
No, this was fantastic, Heidi. You had wonderful questions. I appreciate your time and attention and inviting me to this podcast. And thank you for the time. It was a super fun conversation for me.
Amazing. Thank you. And as I promised, we bring people from all over the world, and Omar's coming to us from Canada. So shout out to Canadians. So grateful for your time. Thank you for listening to us today. Make sure you connect with Omar and let him know that you heard us here. And we will see you on the next episode of the Business Growth Spotlight.
Awesome. Take care, everybody.